Hello.
Okay.
Okay. 안녕하세요.
Oh, 3, 2, 1.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
So
여러분.
yeah, we're back.
Yay.
So-
I'm actually excited to be alone today.
Alright.
It's gonna be very chill.
What time should we talk about?
What time?
What topic we should talking about today?
I think you should explain that in Korean.
Okay. What should I say?
It's like, do you speak Korean? I'm a bit confused these days.
Okay.
Alright, so today we're going to talk about how Korea has started to have an influence here in Australia. You know,
All of the world, probably.
yeah, has
Okay.
like grown across the world.
Western culture.
I feel like since we've started dating, it's
Yeah,
like grown
it-
so much.
I think it's also good to know for Korean because
Yeah.
like a lot of YouTuber sometimes like how can I say overreact, yes, like for the view. Like let's say like something happened and then they put like a lot of like clickbait. They making like clickbait stuff.
Can you give me an example?
I don't know.
Awesome.
There's a lot, so like I can't choose one. Yeah. Anyways,
Alright.
so it's good to talk about real life.
Yeah.
How Australia people know about
Right.
Korea. For our experience, we can talk about past and then now because as things change, like really, we have really big difference between that time and now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to talking about.
And we both have a different perspective on it too. Yeah.
When I came to Australia, it was 2013, and then like that time, one song was really popular. That was Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
Right. Memory.
Yes. So when I met someone from other country or like when I met someone, just like friends, yes, and they said where are you from, and then I said I'm from South Korea, and then they starting dance Gangnam Style, and also when I went to the club, sometimes the Gangnam Style played it, and then yeah, there are a lot of Koreans here.
Was there any, like when you went to the club back in those days, was there a lot of Australian girls interested in you in Korea? Like did anyone like know you're Korean because they were into Korea stuff?
Oh, yeah, I can say some girl interested. Yeah, Korea, yeah, so yeah.
Just a few. I feel like these
Just
days
few,
there would be a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
more, but we can't compare because he hasn't been, right? Right. So back in those days I was in high school and I remember, I think my first experience with Korea stuff, I remember in my like country Australian high school, one day they were playing Gangnam Style. We used to have like this radio at lunchtime and they would like blast music throughout the school. And so they started playing Gangnam Style and the whole school, I kid you not, the whole school was like dancing to it every day.
Gangnam Style.
Yeah, Gangnam Style.
Like lunchtime,
Oh yeah.
everyone eating like this.
Yeah, seriously. Like, yeah, those people dancing everywhere.
Eating sausage roll like this.
Oh, sausage rolls, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think back in those days, the only thing people associated with Korea is probably Gangnam Style and Kim Jong-un. Everyone knew like North Korea.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody knew anything about South Korea.
Yeah, probably.
In fact, like I literally had a friend who was like, "Oh, do they even have internet in Korea?" And I was
my
like,
gosh.
they're like the best for internet in the whole world. Yes, they do have internet.
And then people still confused about Japan and Korea. You know, like they thought Korea and Japan same country.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like actually going further than that, I feel like people wouldn't be able to tell the difference between like Vietnam, Singapore, Korea, China. They wouldn't have known anything. At least people that I was friends with at that time.
And then I came back to Korea, and then I go back to Korea, went back to Korea, and then came back here again. That was I think 2016, and then suddenly like K-pop getting popular, more popular. So that time I remember a lot of K-pop star doing some world tour here, and then a lot of people know about Korea.
You saw like color crayon pop at the city.
Oh yeah, that was 2013.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the Placebo. Yeah, they like dancing on
The Opera House.
Opera House. Yeah, I watched it, and then yeah, that was 2013, and then 2016 there are a lot of K-pop like idol like doing world tour here, and then BTS getting
I saw
popular.
BTS here. I always forget about that memory, but I actually did go to a concert.
And then
so I feel like still there, even though it was kind of getting more popular, I feel like the general public didn't know about it, but I would say in 2016 or maybe 17, I saw some kids walking around school with like K-pop backpacks, and because I knew what it was at the time, so I could identify it, but yeah, that was the first time I'd ever seen anybody share interest in choreo.
Idol photo on the back?
No, they just had like the logo, like the band
like
logo.
a K-pop.
Like
example.
Like
EXO.
BTS. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
But BTS wasn't popular yet.
Yeah, makes sense.
EXO was still in.
EXO, BTS, Big Bang, a lot. And then straight up, when we start to live in countryside in Australia, because of like kids.
Yeah.
And there was kind of super Aussie area, so there is no Asian, no like foreigner there.
Not many. Like,
not many, because basically
like
Australia population, I can say like a lot of foreigner people live here, like a lot of multicultural, and there are a lot of like I can say like 90% Australia.
In the
live there, and suddenly one day they started play BTS song in the shopping center, so I was pretty shocked. Because I can hear the like Korean song in very countryside shopping center.
Yeah, I was pumped too.
And after that, like everywhere play BTS, Blackpink. Yeah, sometimes like other like K-pop.
Yeah. Also, like I feel like Korean food has probably gotten a bit more popular. I wouldn't say it's super well known amongst the elder Australians. Like my parents wouldn't have any clue before meeting me. Right, exactly. Like
they loved it, but
they don't understand why you cook it yourself.
Yeah.
They haven't wrapped their head around that yet. But like the restaurants have started opening up in more countryside areas.
Yeah. But Korean barbecues, they are popular and spicy food for like Western people who's not like really, who doesn't have experience. They are not used to it. They don't used to it, so it's not popular at the moment. But the Korean barbecue is popular.
Yeah, Korean fried chicken I feel like would be really popular.
Chicken like are popular. Yes.
Korean bakeries are also a lot here.
Oh yeah,
really
Korean bakery.
I wouldn't say K-beauty is popular unless you know about Korea. I don't know, but I feel like definitely sheet masks because of Korea have become really popular.
Yeah, true.
And also Korea, I feel, started all of the fashion trends. Not that a lot of people would probably know that, but they really did. So I'm sure a lot of my friends probably like stuff that they didn't realize was actually coming from Korea.
After I think 2016, after Jisung Park, but probably they don't know what Jisung Park is. Suddenly like Son Heung-min and like a lot of Korean players like played well in Europe League and
soccer.
Europe Soccer League, English Premier League, British. So I really liked watching football. So I bought some clothes and like goods about Son and
for the kids.
For the kids, and I have some too, like from your mom. One day we put Seiji wearing Son uniform and then send it to our grandma's house.
In the mail.
Like Aussie grandma's house, and then she, after like for a while, when we met her, and then she said, oh, one day I saw Seiji wearing Son uniform, but that time she didn't know about it, and then after a few days later, she watched news and she saw the Son play like well English Premier League, and then she realized that's the Korean player, right?
I don't really know anything about soccer, so I can't back you up on that one, but I know you talk about it a lot.
And then one of our friends, who was Carla's colleague.
I was gonna say that.
And I think he told me his father used to play Tottenham.
Oh really?
Yeah, something like that. So he really liked Son, and then if someone liked soccer. If someone interesting about soccer, they always talking about. If I say I'm from Korea, and then they start talking about Son and the other player. Yeah, so yeah, I'm kind of like really proud of myself.
Good.
Also, men knows about Korea like in the other way,
Right.
and then sometimes they say, "Oh, my sister really likes K-pop." You know?
Right. I do remember like, yeah, I've had people like, oh my daughter's dating Korean guy.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know that they have different ages in Korea?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had people talking like that before. Okay.
So, like a lot of people getting know about Korea more.
Yeah, and that was in the country.
In other like different ways.
Yeah.
Even men's, women's. Yeah.
And then I feel like that some of the really older people may know it from like wars.
The Korea War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, your grandpa.
Yeah, exactly.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
And then I said South Korea, and then have you ever been to North Korea? And then he talking about his experience. I used to make. What was it?
The Korean car.
No, he said North Korea airplane.
Oh really? Wait, what?
The Tony.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and then.
I thought he was a car maker there.
Yeah, one of our cousin. Oh yeah, one of Sage. One of Kala's family member used to work in Korea like before, like 10 or 20 years ago. He used to work in Kia.
That's
So
right.
he also had a Kia car. And then last year, the best SUV in Australia was Kia car.
Right.
So I think cars also, we are really good at it now.
Yeah, anyone who's into cars will probably is very trusting of Korean cars.
Hyundai is a most also like popular car in here, i30.
Right.
So we can easily see Kia or Hyundai car, and then these days Genesis, which is like premium Hyundai car, like looks like Bentley. But yeah, also we can see sometimes.
So I guess before Squid Game there was Parasite.
Oh yeah.
And that kind of I feel like was the first entertainment.
Train to Busan.
Train to Busan, okay. But Parasite was pretty popular.
And sometimes my mother-in-law said, "Oh, I watched this K-drama and it was good." But I think that time, just only who knows about K-drama. Like they say K-drama is good, but not like everyone. And then after like Parasite, like people start know about K-drama or Korean movie, and then like Squid Game, boom.
Squid Game, boom, explosion.
Explosion.
So like once again, the friends who back in high school knew nothing about K-pop and thought it was like they didn't know what country it was. Now they actually one of my friends messaged me the other day and she was like, "Oh my god, Carla, are all Korean shows this good? I just watched Squid Game and I'm obsessed with it." And I was like, "Oh, even I felt so proud of that moment."
Yeah.
No, I'm proud for you. It's like, wow, people are finally starting to appreciate
I'm proud of it.
Your movies, I just gotta say, have you ever seen Australian movies? Like so bad.
You should proud of yourself too. Like Australian. Like you have Chris Hemsworth and then
he does American movies because he knows Australian movies are questionable.
Margot Robbie.
Compared to Korean movies, they just really do.
Well made.
Yes, very well made. I can just tell you my experience. When you're watching a movie in a foreign language, you can't tell if the acting is good or bad. So it's always good. You know?
Yeah, but they are good acting.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're bad acting. I'm just saying even if its acting is a bit less, I wouldn't be able to tell. I'm just reading the subtitles.
Same for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I see the English.
Yeah, sometimes you choose some really bad ones, and I'm like, but.
Yeah, but I liked it.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, we are killing it in drama now, Netflix, and then
It was on the news. Squid Game was on the Australian news.
And then even the Sydney police post about Squid Game
on their Facebook page.
And then they're using a lot of meme. Meme. About Squid Game. Yeah, so we really proud of it.
So yeah, we're really excited to watch the Korea, expand over the world, right?
Yeah, it's also good for us because we kind of like in the future we can travel Korea, and then like we can advertise more,
Yeah.
and then people more interested, and we get more view, and then we have more opportunity. So I think it's good to know people knowing about Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be lots of, I think, foreigners coming to visit, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then for me, if Korean culture getting more popular, they sell more Korean stuff in here, and then more restaurant. So it's good for me.
So I hope you enjoyed watching that and learning about how Korea is kind of expanding over here.
So yeah, we are really proud of ourselves because Korea is getting popular. Huh?
You should be. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Bye bye.